All right, well, boys and girls, hope you got your handwriting done. Again, without having to write that extra line, it probably goes pretty fast. All you have to do is trace the gray, but do be sure and put your name at the top so I know whose paper it is. All right, let's go ahead and pull out our reader. We are on I Can Read Well, Book 3. I'm so excited. You're just about done. You might already have read it several times, and that's great. If you've already gone on to your other readers, that's great too. All right. Now, again, if you're wanting to use your glasses, you can. Miss Paris has her real glasses on. Of course, I just kind of pop that out if that kind of helps. Those are just fun to use. Or if you're just looking at it and reading it like Miss Paris, that's awesome too. Yesterday, our friend in the story 6 and 7 used his imagination. Remember? He was pretending. And today, we're also going to talk about using our imagination. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to go to page 10, a 1 and a 0. And we're going to read through this together. If you've marked the vowels, that's awesome. If you didn't need to, that's great too. We got some big words on here with some blends, but I bet you're doing a great job reading those. I'm so proud of you. Let's look at our friend and see. Can you tell from the picture, it's kind of got this cloud up here. It's showing us that she is thinking about something. And if you notice, what is she doing? She's reading, isn't she? Isn't it awesome when we read books, boys and girls? We can just use our imagination and learn so many things. We can learn about things and places we've never even been. It's always fun to read books. And that's what she says in her title. I like to read. She's excited. I like to read. And boys and girls, I hope you like to read. I love to read. That's one of the things Miss Paris has been doing when we have some of this extra time that we're home, is we can pull out a good book and read. So I like to read. I could have written that title because I like to read. All right, here we go. I like to read of trucks and trains, of dogs and cats, of clocks and cranes. All right. So do you like to read some of those things she mentioned? Give me a thumbs up if you like to read about trucks, trains, dogs. I bet I like to read about dogs, cats, clocks, cranes. Maybe if you like to read about trucks and cranes, building things, that's always fun to do and use our imagination of what we like to do. If you haven't seen a crane before, boys and girls, it's a big piece of equipment that you can lift things high in the air. And you've probably seen that on maybe a TV show or in a book before. All right, that's called a crane. All right, let's see what else. We have a picture of a boy, and you can see his cloud up here, what he's thinking about. He's got a good book. I like to read of ships at sea, of bugs that fly and land on me. The tales can be dreams. The tales can be real, of a flag to fly, of a breeze to feel. I like to read. Do you see how they put that all in capital letters and an exclamation point? That say that with a lot of extra expression. I like to read, just like we saw on the title. All right, so our friend, he likes to read of ships out in the water, that's at sea, bugs. Maybe you like to learn about insects, different bugs. And tales can dream. He's talking about using our imagination to dream, maybe about being out on a big boat, maybe about playing with dinosaurs. Always fun to think of those different things. And of course, all of us like to read, and we've said it many times. If we want to be a good reader, of course, we've got to keep practicing. All right, let's go ahead and turn the page. We're going to skip the vocabulary words on 12. We'll go back and read those at a different day. I want to read 13. 3, 1 and a 3. Numbers in the teens, they start with 1. 1 and a 3 is 13. And let's see, what animal is this, boys and girls? Yeah, it's a goat. And the title, My Goat. And there's that Y making what sound? What does that Y say in there? It's making the long I sound, my. All right, let's find out about some goats. Goats like to eat grass. I am glad I am not a goat. It is fun to play with my goat. He likes to jump off rocks. Dad shuts him up in a pen. That way he will not go past the gate. Good job. All right, boys and girls, what did our story say goats like to eat? Yeah, they like to eat grass, don't they? Have you ever been around a goat? Have you ever been able to touch a goat? Maybe a real goat, boys and girls? All right. Maybe you've been down to Grant's farm and you can actually give them a baby bottle and feed the goats. That's fun too. Look at the story. What did they say they like to jump off of? As you were reading through, did you hear? Yeah, they like to jump off rocks. And then where does Dad put the goats so they won't leave? What's that called? Do you know where you put animals? All right, we would say in a pen. And then whatever the animal is, they stay in there. All right, great job reading about the goat. All right, well, we're going to finish this reader up today, boys and girls. So that means we're moving on to 14 and 15. That's going to finish it. Everybody say Freddie. Remember Freddie? I bet he is sitting in the classroom, probably snoring away. Don't you think, boys and girls? Or maybe he and Sammy are playing some games. Let's read about Freddie the Frog. We got that Fred the Frog. All right, let's find out what Freddie the Frog is doing. Now, you probably noticed in the rectangle, there was 2. Now, it says sight words. Those are our tricky words. We've learned these before. You know, remember what they are? Was and said. We've had those, so we should have those memorized already. Here we go. Fred the Frog sat on a big log. Did you notice something in that sentence? Frog, log, sound alike, rhyme. He was hot, but he had a wide grin. Do you remember what we said a grin was? A grin is a big smile. Show me a big smile. That's a big smile. I will take a swim in the stream, he said. All right, do you know what a stream is, boys and girls? Okay, it's like some water, maybe like a creek, some water that's flowing. All right, let's see. Oh my goodness, all I see are his legs. Let's see what happened. He made 3 big hops and 1 big splash. All right, can you do 3 big hops? 1, 2, 3. Everybody say splash. All right, splash. Look at that word, splash. Got some S blends on there. He tried a big dive, but just made a flop. That was fine with Fred. I can float. This is fun, he cried. I like to play in the stream. All right. Boys and girls, can Fred dive very well? No, he couldn't. He tried a big dive. He gave it a try, but it says he just made a, what did it say? He made a what? Flop. All right. But he can do something. What did our story say he could do? All right. He can float. There it is. I can float. He can float. Right? So sometimes there's something we can't do. That's okay. We don't give up. We keep trying. There's always things we can do. And that's what Freddie, he could float. All right. So that was that whole reader, boys and girls. That was 15 pages in that reader on book 3. Now, we are going to go back tomorrow and we'll read through the vocabulary pages. There's just 2 vocabulary pages. We'll read through those tomorrow. And lots of blends on there, just like we've been seeing in our readers. So, all right. And when we come back, boys and girls, we're going to play a activity called I'm a Nut. Remember when we talked about the beginning of school, we said we're nuts for school. This one's called I'm a Nut. We're going to do some rhyming words. So you'll definitely need to crank up those listening ears. All right. Good job today. Give yourself a finger clap for a nice job on your reader. Very proud of you.